Every day, we experience the various stresses of life, otherwise known as stressors, and they begin to fill a container that is inside each and every one of us. Depending on how big your container is, depends how quickly the container fills up. Problems occur when the container is full and it begins to overflow, as this symbolizes emotional snapping, or in other words, that time we have all experienced when we, or someone we know, has an over-emotional response to something for no known logical reason. To prevent this from happening, we require a tap, or even several taps, that allow us to drain these unhealthy stressors from our containers. This is otherwise known as helpful and healthy coping strategies, such as exercise, guided meditation, and music, that helps us to alleviate negative impacts from the stressors and ensures that we can manage the stresses of everyday life. There are also unhealthy and unhelpful coping strategies, such as smoking, eating unhealthfully, drugs and alcohol, which whilst they may help in the short term, long term they will exaggerate problems and often lead to an increase in negative symptoms. The stress container can also be related to someone's personal resilience, which is where some people can become extremely overworked at everyday life very quickly, whilst others can remain almost horizontal, rarely becoming overly concerned or stressed at the most serious of situations. We as individuals can train ourselves to become more resilient and as such increase the size of our stress containers. Until this happens, 1. Identify what your stresses are regardless of size. 2. Identify what specific coping strategies work for you. 3. Learn to accept the things you cannot change and identify what needs to be done about the things you can. 4. Ask for help. We all need the support of others from time to time. The key thing to remember is talking to someone about how we are feeling, not being embarrassed to talk about our problems, stresses, and our mental health generally, is a courageous first step forward and one towards gaining the necessary support we require.